Hello, and welcome to Stroke by Stroke. This is the final video in this multi-part series. I am back from the grocery, and this is now completely dry, and I'm going to use some of my Aquafine Chinese white watercolor ink, because I want to do some more highlights. And I was going to use my big brush again, but I think this time I'm just going to use this little one that I was using. And this has turned into a very long video, so I'm likely to just cut it or something. So this painting was so much fun. I hope you enjoy it. My hand is shaking and I don't quite know why. Maybe because my pain levels are going up. Pain does all kinds of things to your body, doesn't it? I open my windows because it's gotten very warm, so you may hear the breeze behind, or wind actually, beyond a breeze actually. I'm not down with the hand shaking. I don't know what the heck. Wasn't doing that before, but I did just drive. And of course, I live in the boonies, and so I have to travel to go to the grocery store, so. And of course, driving when there's storms coming and my body hates me. Not necessarily recommended. So I think that's all it is. And I'm gonna come back in with some of the iridescent gold again. A little bit of the Chinese white watercolor ink again. And I'm coming in here with just a little bit of the acrylic white ink. This is Delarge FW. And remember, the difference between the watercolor ink and the acrylic ink, The acrylic ink tends to be a little bit more opaque, and the watercolor ink can be reactivated with water. The acrylic can't. Now I am coming back here to the, let's see here what we're going to use. Let's do some Hansa Yellow Light. And I'm just going to do some Hansa, no, I'm going to do the Quinophthalone, whatever, yellow. This is a little bit of a warmer yellow. And I'm going to come in here to these watercolors. And I'm just going to pick up some of this bright gold. I'm going to come back in here with, let's see here. I'm going to go back to the Azo Yellow. And this is just a little teeny tiny bit of the white. Because that just made it a little bit too dark, that gold. Now I'm coming back to the Interference Gold. And now I'm coming back with some more of the acrylic white ink. That wind is wicked. Of course, I'm also pretty much surrounded by open fields, so that's not overly surprising. Nothing to really block it. Makes it fun in a trailer sometimes, because occasionally the trailer itself, the whole thing just shudders. And unfortunately, I and many people can't afford much of anything else. So, yeah. It's one of the hardest parts of I was building my career. Wasn't expecting at this point, or even 3 or 4 years ago, I wasn't expecting for life to do what it did. I thought I would have time. But instead, no, I don't. All right. I'm just breaking up some of these harsh lines, that's all. That was a hair that had gotten embedded. This is the FW acrylic gold. One more time. Dope. Okay, I'm coming to the bigger brush. I'm just lifting out. That makes me happy, actually. Okay. And one last, well, I haven't actually used my hairdryer at all. So, and I'm just gonna clean this up over here a little bit more with a little bit more of the white. And this is a mostly dry, a little damp brush.
Pay attention here to how I use a combination of additive and subtractive, meaning I'm adding white, and here you can see I'm actually lifting out through that purple with the white. Those long strokes like that that really help things just hang together. You'll see that I'm doing that a lot as I'm coming through and adding the details.
Little details like what I'm doing right now actually will help an image pop. I'm doing such subtle highlights here, but I promise you will feel it when you look at the image, even if you don't consciously see it. And all I'm doing is just layering the white. Because I don't want it to be ridiculously contrasted, but I would like a little bit more. I am actually very, very happy with this now. So I thought this was done, but in looking at the videos, which are very long, I realized there's more that I want to do with this. Compositionally, there's there are three major factors happening. So you have a very strong diagonal. You have, it could be considered a double diagonal here because it does this, you know. And then we have two strong horizontal things, and these are giving me some issue. So I'm going to continue with this image, and I'm going to use my acrylic marker, I think, to do some of this. I'm going to use a different one because this one, for one thing, it's a little bit dirty, and for another, it's just not really doing what I want it to do here. So let's see if this one does any better. Oh, I doubt that it will. Okay, well, I'm just going to use a gel pen then. And this is a white gel pen. And then if I come back in with a little bit of water. Yeah, before it dries, I can come in here and blend it out a little bit. Okay, and now I know what that will do. Good. All right, I'm going to come here to the part where I was trying to be very subtle, and I'm gonna not be so subtle. Okay, I'm gonna blend that before it dries too much. Nice. All right. I decided to go ahead and just be decisive with that line, as opposed to trying to fade it out to pretty much nothing. And I'm pretty sure that this image, I'm probably gonna have to split the videos into parts, because by the time this is done, we'll be looking at about 4 hours, I think. So that's a lot. And I am leaning forward, so I'm probably blocking your way somewhat, and I'm sorry about that, if that's happening.
And here you can see how using the pen just really brings that definition into play. And then I can use the brush. It's just a damp brush, and I'm able to blend things together. So it just becomes a process of making decisive lines and then blending what needs to be blended. And now I'm going to start going back and forth between my gold gel pen, my white gel pen, and a damp brush where I can blend things together. And this is just highlighting parts that I want to really bring more attention to. And I even end up using a silver pen at some point.
So you've heard of silver linings. Well, I'm doing a gold lining. Gold lining. Good Lord. That was way more difficult than it should have been. come back to my white. Alright. If I don't stop, I don't know that I ever will, but I have just a couple more things that I really do need to do. A kitty cat who wants to come get on my lap. She's pawing me. I've been doing us a ridiculously long time. I am stopping because I probably have done too much.
Well, I hadn't done too much. In fact, I hadn't quite done enough yet. And so I was afraid I was gonna run out of space on my phone for all the video, because it is a lot of data to do these videos. And anyway, so I went ahead and finished, but you'll see, like, look at the detail there in that sun. And now you know how to do that. It was a process of lifting out and then using the pens judiciously. And so there are no surprises in anything that I did after I stopped recording, but I wanted to do a nice slow pan around here of the final image so you can see the glorious texture and the granulation and the blending and the line work and all of the layering that went together to create this image. And this is totally something that you can do. You may have to practice. I had to practice. But the more you do it, the more you're going to learn. And the more you learn, the more you understand what works the way you want it to and what does not. And so never stop learning. Keep doing the art, even when it's not doing necessarily what you want it to do, even if you think it's ugly, even if you don't like the composition of what you're coming up with, at least you're learning. And you can't make beautiful images all the time. Lord knows I don't. That's why even if it's a bad image, I go ahead and put it up, because it's all part of the process. And I am beyond in love with this picture. It does everything I wanted it to do, and even more. And the complexity of this image, I think, adds a lot to the character of the image. And then how the line work there at the end with the gel pens and the blending and using the inks, the white, the Chinese white watercolor ink, the FW acrylic. It all just goes together to tell the same kind of story. So this has been Stroke by Stroke. I hope you found this video series of tutorials here to be helpful, and I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day and do what makes you happy. And show me your images if you want to. And here is the email address again, and I would love to see what you come up with. Have a beautiful rest of your day, folks.